Once you have your repertoire selected for the semester, it's a really good idea to go through and organize your pieces into various sections. This is really important in helping you plan out your semester plan and also your weekly training. So, if we look at this piece, the Iberic Concerto, this is a piece that I studied in my first year here at WVU. I went through, and any time I had material that was very similar to the opening material of the first movement of the Iberic Concerto, I marked that as red because it just seemed like red to me. I wish I could explain it. I don't know. It just makes sense that it was red. If you wanted to mark that pink, you could do that. But I went through and I made sure that all of these similar musical areas were the same color, and it was easier for me to help organize and learn and practice my music that way. I also went through, and anytime I had material that was similar to this, I went through in the first movement and I marked that green. And then on my semester plan, I would say on week 2, I am working on memorizing green 1 and green 2. Or in week 3, I'm working on articulation in all of the red sections. Or, for me personally, like I'm working on not hanging over this rhythm because that's a huge problem I have. So just make sure you take the time, look at how the composition is organized, and break it off into different sections. It doesn't have to be this crazy thing that you're doing. It's not supposed to be super hard. Music comes in sections, it all tells its own little story. So find the sections that are similar and mark them as is. Find the sections that are different, mark them as is. That's really all it is. And then that way you have a better understanding of how to organize your semester plan and how to organize your weekly plans. So, this is a quick crash course. This is what I've done with the Iberic Concerto. Let's go ahead and look at someone else's. Let's look at the Hugh Fantasy. So, this person decided that the whole first page was going to be its own section. That's totally fine. That makes perfect sense, right? This whole thing is going to be its first section. You could even, if you wanted to, I could see making like up to here its own section just based on the material. And then over here, we've got a pink section. We have new material. And then we have something we've never seen before, so we have a green color. One thing that's really important to make note of, if you are not using technology, like you're not using an iPad to mark your music like I personally do, make sure you are using photocopies, okay? Do not mark your original scores with markers. That is not a good choice. So hopefully this makes a little bit more sense on how you're supposed to mark up your music. It's not supposed to be super complicated. It's not supposed to make your brain hurt. You just find the sections that are similar. You mark it with its own color. You find a new section, you mark that with its own color. That helps you organize your practice. It helps you understand what's happening musically. It can also help with memorization as well. Again, if you have any questions on how to do this, ask your studio mentors, ask your graduate assistant. We're here to help.